Good morning, guys. Yeah, I gotta tell y'all a funny story when Bo gets done reading. But there's several times Kelsey, like I'll call Kelsey and talk to her, and I feel like I hear a lot of the same things from her. And I got a funny story to tell y'all. Okay, so Bo wants to read. What is it? Psalm 119.
Psalm 119, verse 145. With my whole heart I cry. Answer my, O Lord. I will keep your statutes.
So we're gonna be in Luke 7 today. If you got your Bibles, you can go on over to Luke 7. Yeah, so a lot of times when I talk to Kelsey and I'm like, how's your day? And I ask her, just that normal stuff. You get a lot of the same little, things like, well, I feel like I've cleaned the house 3 times a day, and, the kids, every time you do something, and then they go right back and make a little mess and that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Or, if like if I'm at home with her in the mornings, like I just watch her. She microwaves her coffee about 4 times before she drinks the whole thing. Because she's just like, drink a little bit. It's like, oh, gotta get up and do something and whatever. Anyway, like she has all these little things. Or like, man, I know Jared and Lisa have stink bugs. We got ladybugs like crazy, right? Anybody else got ladybugs? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, we got them too, but not like you. I mean, you're growing them out there. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Take them all. Take them all. But anyways, like you know, when I had the kids yesterday, Kelsey's gonna lay street. Like I went there to vacuum, and dude, I went to town on them, and like, I mean, I sucked up like I don't know how many hundreds. Like there's a ton of them. And then like you go back in there later, and they just kept multiplying like the bread and the fish when Jesus is doing. It's just like what's happening. And anyway, but I remember like Kelsey, like she'll be like, yeah, I vacuumed the ladybugs 3 times a day. I'm like, yeah, sure looks like it. I'm like, there's still 300 in here. Anyway, so like you stay home for like less than one day, and yesterday morning I microwaved my coffee like 3 times as I just kept like getting up and doing stuff. And like when Kelsey came home, it was like, I promised the dishes were done this morning, and then somehow there's like more dishes. Like we cleaned the house twice, and like I really don't know. And it was like, oh yeah, this is okay. So that's what she means by this. It's like, all right, maybe I need to take it easy on Kelsey a little bit. But it was we had a good time though. Laylee slept in the bed with me. We had a little daddy daughter. We got sunglasses on for. We had a little daddy daughter date. It was fun. We watched a scary movie for the kids. Watched Warcraft. It was pretty cool. What else did we do? Played some basketball. Played a little Minecraft. We had a good time. It was pretty good. Pretty good. I'm very glad Kelsey's back home. Oh, dude. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't even say Mama's home when we were at the cabin. I was like, oh, Ashley's here. And they're like, Mom. Like I said Ashley, and they're like, let's go. And they all take off running. Except for Bo. She's playing Minecraft. But anyway, it was yeah, they don't show her any love when she's at home, but as soon as she leaves, it's like, we miss Mom. Where's Mom? Like they really do love you, Kelsey. They do. All right, guys, Luke 7. Here's the question for today. So I don't have my charger for my laptop, so we're doing an old school PowerPoint. Like, yeah, yeah, it's literal point. Point at it. So today is going to be old school, but I want you all to read and think of Luke 7. There are 7 reactions. Okay, Luke 7, 7 reactions. Y'all say that? Luke 7? 7 reactions. Okay. So the question is, why are you here? Because that's stinking alarm. Why are you all here today? Okay. I want you to think about Luke 7. There's 7 different people that are different types of people that interact with Jesus, and I want you to see the 7 different responses. Okay. All right. Here's the first one. First one, I don't know if y'all can read this or not. First one is the centurion. Everybody got that? I thought I was going to have like 7 people come up here and hold them, but then I realized whoever's number 1 is going to be up here the entire sermon. So, good. Yeah, it should. Y'all can't stand still for 30 seconds. Not a chance. Towards the end. I'll bring up towards the end, okay? All right, first one is the centurion, okay? All right, Luke 7, look at verses 1 through 10. So there's a centurion slave. He was highly regarded by the centurion. He was sick. He was about to die. And when the centurion heard about Jesus, he sent some Jewish elders asking him to come and save the life of his slave. All right, do you know what nationality a centurion is? Roman, right? So let me say this a different way. It is not a Jewish God-following Old Testament person, okay? But he hears about the Messiah, and he's like, I hear this guy does great things, and I love my servant, so I'm going to seek help from him. So he sends, did y'all notice what kind of people he sent to him? Jewish elders. Almost like maybe Jesus will listen to these guys a little bit better, because why? They're Jews. Like, I'm a Roman, let me send some Jews. So he sends some Jewish elders asking him to come and save the life of the slave. Verse 4, when they came to Jesus, they earnestly implored him, saying, he is worthy for you to grant this to him, for he loves our nation, and it is he who built us our synagogue. So what do the Jewish elders try to, I don't know how you want to say it, like sweeten the deal with Jesus? What's their motive? What are they like? Hey, guess what? This guy that once helped the centurion, what kind of guy is he? He's a good dude. He loves the Jews. I love the Jews. He loves the Jews. In fact, he's helped us to build a synagogue. It's like he's helped us build a church building. So he's a good person. He deserves to be helped. Following? Verse 6. Now Jesus started on his way with them, and when he was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends. Now he sends friends this time, saying to him, Lord, do not trouble yourself further, for I am not worthy for you to come under my roof. For this reason, I did not even consider myself worthy to come to you, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I also am a man placed under authority, with soldiers under me, and I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my slave, do this, and he does that. So when Jesus is getting closer, what does the centurion say? He in fact sends out his friends, and he's like, just tell Jesus what? What does he say, church? Are y'all listening? Huh? He said, don't even come the whole way, because I'm not worthy. So his friends are saying, this guy is such a good guy. He deserves this. What does he say? I don't even deserve you to come under my roof. Just look, he's like, for a living, I give orders and people follow orders. I'm like you. You give the orders, and I know that you can help my servant. So at that response, Jesus says one of the most offensive things that he could say. At that response, this is what Jesus says. When Jesus heard this, he marveled at him and turned and said to the crowd that was following him, which is assumed to be a Jewish crowd. He's marveling at a Roman's response. And then to this Jewish crowd, he says, I say to you, not even in Israel have I found such great faith. When those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the slave in good health. So the first guy, okay, why are you here? The first guy, the centurion, why is he here? The centurion's there because he needs a miracle. That's our first one. First one needs a miracle. And in fact, he has such confidence in the Lord. How does Jesus compare him? He's like, actually, in terms of all the Jews who you would expect to have faith in God, nobody has as great a faith as you do. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's also very impressive. All right, now here's the second one. Second one is, guys, anybody? The mother. The mother, this is vague. If she had a name, I'll give a name. But the second one is the mother, okay? So, Jesus and the disciples, they go to a city, and I don't know how you say that. Nain? I'm not sure. And they have a large crowd. And as they approach the city, there is also a large crowd leaving the city. And what is leaving the city is a funeral procession. So there is a mom who only has one son And you know what has happened to her son? He has died. So she is leaving the city, and Jesus sees this, let's say casket the pallbearers, and he is moved with compassion, and guess what Jesus does? He's going to raise his son from the dead. So Jesus sees this young boy, I don't know how old he is, but she sees this man in a casket. He goes up to it. He says, arise. He starts speaking to the man. The man is resurrected from the dead. He gives the son back to the mother. And guess what the crowds do? They marvel, and they're just like, this is crazy. This is impressive. Surely a prophet has arisen among us. Surely God is visiting his people. All right? That's verses 11 through 17. Okay. Here we go. Yo, come on, guys. The centurion. Why did he... How do I say that? Why is he here? Why is he around Jesus? Why is he here? He needs a miracle, right? Okay, here's our second one. Second one is the mother. Why is she there? Let me say this maybe the wrong way. I don't know if it's wrong or not. She was there by accident. She was not trying to meet Jesus, was she? All right, so she was there by accident. And on her worst day, it was going to turn into her best day. All right, so there's the second one. All right, here's the third one. The third one is, I'm going to read PowerPoint. John's disciples. Okay? All right, so John, he hears that, Jesus is out, there's this guy who claims to be the Messiah, and he's like, are you the chosen one? Are you the expected one? So he's trying to confirm that Jesus is the real deal. So this is really cool. So John sends his disciples to come meet Jesus. That's going to be 18 through 23. Yeah, 18 through 23. So when they come to ask Jesus, hey, John would like to know what's going on. Are you the real deal or not? So Jesus tells them, well, you go back and you tell John this. Tell them that the blind receive sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised. One more time. John tells them, or he tells you go tell John, the blind receive sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised. One more time. Go tell John, the blind receive sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised. What does that mean? Jesus has power to perform miracles, right? And then he says number 6, which most people don't read, or you'll miss it. You also tell John, you tell him this, that the poor have the gospel preached to them. All right, if you were to go read chapter 8, and Jesus talks about the parable of the soils, I forget which one it is. Maybe it's the thorny ground. Maybe that's right. But rich people are compared to, I think it's the thorny ground, but the punchline is this. They are choked out by the pleasures of the world. Anybody in here have stuff? Y'all got stuff, right? We got stuff. Yeah, I got stuff. Yeah. We're helping people, build an attic for more storage, put more stuff up there. They've already got stuff. It's we need room to get more stuff put in boxes. And have y'all ever I don't know where that tool is, I'm just going to go buy another one? And then the next day you find it and it's man, I've got 4 of these now, but I can't ever find them, right? It's you just never find them. Yeah. They're probably, yeah. Mine's probably in the mud somewhere in the driveway. Rex, oh. Well, if it's Milwaukee, I kept it. So, yeah. We got stuff, guys, and it's man, we got to build a barn. We're well, that barn's not big enough. We got to tear it down and build a bigger barn. But we need another storage shed. Well, we got gymnastics, and we got cheerleading practice, and we got swimming, and now there's baseball, and there's band, and then there's we got stuff going on, right? We got ball practice. Well, then we got things we like to be involved in. Well, I want to we got this little golf scramble. Nobody in here, but Mark, you're probably the only one that plays golf. Anybody else play golf besides Mark? Anybody else besides Mark and Liam play golf? Like, man, we've only got 2 cars. Kelsey's car broke down this week. I don't think it's anything like real major, but it was like, oh man, now we've only got 1 car. Isn't that crazy? I'm complaining about in the driveway. No, it didn't. It didn't, Jared. It's fine. Like, man, we only got 1 car. Some of it. Anybody here got more than 2 cars? 3 cars? Anybody got more than 3 cars? Anybody? What about anybody got a boat? Anybody got more than 1 boat? Anybody got like, man, I like to go hunting and I got some guns. Like, how many shotguns do you need to kill something? You're like, well, you might just one of them might tear up and you need 5 backups, right? Like, we got stuff, huh? Yeah. Some strand over in Africa, it's zombies. I mean, it's going to happen. Like, I need to be prepared, right? Like, we got stuff. You know what? You know what happens when we have stuff and when we have activities and you have like so much riches, like you're trying to figure out, I got to do stuff with this money. I got to do stuff with these things, and these things require my attention. You know what happens with poor people? Not that. So Jesus is healing people, right? He's raising the dead. He's causing the blind to see. But also, while he's gathering in the crowd, you know what he really wants to do? Is he wants to preach the good news to the poor. Like, well, Jesus is just doing it for money. Not if you're preaching to the poor, you're not, right? So he's preaching to the poor because the poor they are not, what was that word I used earlier? Suffocated, whatever that word is. They're not suffocated by the world's stuff. They're not suffocated by their career ladder. They're not suffocated by their hours of work. It's like they have a little more of a free schedule. They have a little less few things to focus. They have a little less things to put their trust in, and they're actually looking for some stinking help. And so, hey. So what is Jesus? He's like, you tell John, miracles are happening, but also the gospel is getting preached because that's why Jesus came here. We did that lesson not too long ago. Okay, so here we go. Let's do this again. The centurion, why was he there? The centurion needed a miracle for his servant, right? The mother, why was she there? Kind of an accident. It was kind of just like her worst day ever, and it turned into her best day. All right, and then you get to John's disciples. Why were they there? Because John was either skeptical or John needed encouragement. I think you can take it both ways. John either doubted who Jesus was, and he's like, I need some proof. Or he was like, I think it's you. I need some encouragement. Like, if you look at one of the other accounts, like this conversation might be happening while John is in prison. Probably not real happy when you're in prison, right? Probably a little down and discouraged. So why are they there? Because they're skeptical or they need encouragement. And then you get to the poor. Why is the poor there? Because they need some stinking good news. And how does God's kingdom have anything to do with poverty? Does God promise wealth and riches? So it's not good news because you're going to get rich. I promise you're not going to get rich being a Christian. Like, in fact, probably going to lose more money. But every single void in your heart will be filled. And you will die a poor person who is very rich in the kingdom of God. So why are the poor there? Because they think they want riches, and when they come to Jesus, they find something more valuable than that. All right. And then you get to verses 24 through 35. This is a long section, and here's my, it's a little confusing, so I'm going to give you Will's translation, okay? What's our next slide, guys? This generation. Dun, dun, dun. This generation. Okay, so Jesus, after John's disciples left, Jesus says this. He says, why did you go out in the wilderness to see John? Why were you there? Did you go out there to see a reed shaken by the wind? And the answer would be no. All right. Did you go out there to see a man dressed in soft clothes? Nope. Those who are splendidly clothed and live in luxury are found where? In royal palaces. That's not what you went out to find when you went to go see John the Baptist. But what did you go out to see? A prophet. Yes. Yes, I say to you, and the one who is more than a prophet. This is the one about whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way before you. That's talking about John the Baptist. And then Jesus says, verse 28, I say to you, among those born of women, there is no one greater than John. Wow, what a compliment. For real, that's pretty good. Of those born of women, how many people does that include? Of those born of women, there's no one better than John the Baptist. Dude, that's pretty nice. But then Jesus says, yet he who is least in the kingdom of God is greater than he. Yet the lowest of low, worst of worst, bottom of the totem pole as it gets, the person that's in the God's kingdom is better than John the Baptist. So what's the takeaway? I want to be a part of God's kingdom. Right? So when John's disciples leave, they go to encourage John. They go to attack and deal with his skepticism. And Jesus turns around to the crowd and he's like, y'all know like John is a fantastic human being, right? You know like he is the man. Like he prepared the way for, you know how good he is? And I'm telling you, like, I don't know why you went out there. I don't know if you expected to see luxury. I don't know if you expected to see some fantastic preaching. I don't know if you expected to see like some show. But here's what you did find. You found a guy dressed in camel's hair, eating locusts and wild honey. You found a crazy man who's an actual prophet, who is not rich. He is poor, preaching to the poor, and he's preaching about the kingdom of God. And as good as you think that John the Baptist is, the worst person in God's kingdom is better than he is. John would love to be in God's kingdom. Well, this kingdom coming thing, right? So, that's not it. Then you keep going, and then he says, this is the word for word part, verse 31. To what then shall I compare the men of this generation? What are they like? And this is the weird part that we don't understand in our culture. I'm going to explain it to you. They're like children who sit in the marketplace and call to one another and say, we played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge for you, and you did not weep. For John the Baptist has come eating no bread and drinking no wine, and you say, he's got a demon. The Son of Man has come eating and drinking, and you say, behold, a gluttonous man and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. Yet wisdom is vindicated by all her children. Okay, so this is what this means, guys. I know it's weird. This is what this means. Okay, have you ever seen like our culture that has like a cause and effect, right? Like, man, I should have come up with a good example. All right, hadn't been Cotton Eye Joe. I've been married a long time ago. What are you gonna do? You're just like immediately like I gotta stomp, right? Come on, y'all know Cotton Eye Joe, right? Right? Working on a building. Working on a building, right? All right, cause and effect. If you, show up to somebody and you just like we went to the birthday party yesterday and me and the boys throwing the football. You get a football out. You don't have to ask people. You know what happens? The other dad comes over, haven't even met him yet. And he's just like, throw it here, man. So Liam's throwing, he's throwing it, right? It's like, you bring out a football, what do you expect to happen? You throw it because it's a ball, right? We set up a lemonade stand. Well, what happens at a lemonade stand? You expect somebody's going to show up and drink some lemonade. So Jesus says, how do I compare this generation? This generation, it's like the kids are at the marketplace and they are playing the music for a funeral. And you would expect if you started playing funeral music, what's going to happen to people's demeanor? It's going to change. Or like you're at the marketplace and the kids start playing wedding music. All right, if you're at a wedding and like a celebration, what would you expect the atmosphere to change? Well, now people are celebrating. People are either celebrating or mourning based on the music that was played. Y'all following me? But the problem is that when the music starts playing, this generation doesn't do anything. This is our proof text that we're allowed to dance at church. I think that's what it is. We played the music and you didn't dance. We played the music, y'all didn't party. We played the music, you didn't cry. Y'all remember the last thing Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount? Wise man, what'd he do? Build his house on the rock, right? The foolish man built his house on the what? On the sand. Why does he tell that whole story? Why do we sing this song to our kids? Why do we sing this song to our kids, guys? Because whoever hears these words of mine and does what? Acts on them as compared to the wise man. Okay, so you heard the music play and you responded. That's a wise man. But if you hear the music play and you don't respond, that's a foolish man. So Jesus says, what do I compare this generation to? It's like when they hear about John the Baptist, they go out there to see, I wonder what he's wearing. They go out there to see anything else except when they go out there, what do they find? They find a prophet who is saying, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's his message. He's saying, you all need to change. You all need to do something. John the Baptist is playing the flute, okay? He is setting the tone. He is expecting people to start mourning or to start joyfully celebrating. And what do they say? I want to read it again because I don't know if I'm losing you guys or not making a good point. We got to read this one more time, okay? Verse 33, for John the Baptist, he came eating no bread and drinking no wine. That could be like an Old Testament Nazarite vow thing, but whatever. He's got a weird diet, okay? And what did people say? They're like, I guess he's got a demon. Really, that's the only possible reaction. He must have a demon. Really, it's the only thing you can say? And what did they say about Jesus? The Son of Man, he came eating and drinking. And what did you say about him? Behold, a gluttonous man and a drunkard. Have you ever, what's the phrase? You can't have your cake and eat it too, or whatever. It's like you can't have both sides of the coin. Oh, what are you going to eat your dessert first? Oh, what are you going to eat your dessert at the end? Well, what do you want me to do? Oh, you're going to take that way? Oh, I thought you'd take the other way. Okay, well, let's take that way. Oh, you're going to take that way? I thought you'd take the other way. I can't please you. I can't please you. This is crazy. So the people said, John must have a demon because he's not eating and drinking enough. And then they say, Jesus must be gluttonous and a drunkard because he's eating and drinking too much. Okay, well, how about this? Wisdom is vindicated by all her children. So, one more time, guys. Why was the centurion there? Needed a miracle. All right. Why was the mother there? She just kind of happened to be there. She wasn't seeking Jesus out. Jesus sought out that opportunity, okay? Why did John's disciples show up to Jesus? They were skeptical. They needed encouragement. They needed to confirm who Jesus was, right? Okay. Why did the poor like Jesus? Because he passed out money? No, because he gave them the good news that there's more to this life than stuff, than materialism. Right, Vanessa? She said that word in class. She's not materialistic. She brought that up in class, okay? All right. And then, why is this generation? It's like, huh? They're dead. Well, what do you mean by that? Yes. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense now. Yeah. 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 Okay, I like that. That's good. Let's call it that. So why was the generation there? They were, I don't know how to put that into that, answer it that way, but y'all know what Lisa's saying, right? It's like they're here for a show, but they don't want to have to change. Do we like that? Okay. Does that happen today? All right. Then you get to, here's number 6. We're almost there. We're almost there. All right. Here's number 6. Simon the Pharisee. Okay? All right. 36. Now one of the Pharisees was requesting him to dine with him, and he entered the Pharisee's house, reclined at the table, and there was a woman in the city who was a sinner. And when she learned that he was reclining at the table in the Pharisee's house, she brought in an alabaster vial of perfume, and standing behind him at his feet, weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears, and kept wiping them with the hair of her head, and kissing his feet and anointing them with the perfume. Now when the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would know who and what sort of a person this woman is who is touching him, that she is a sinner. And Jesus answered him, Simon, I have something to say to you. And he replied, say it, teacher. A moneylender had two debtors. One owed, let's just say, $5 million, right? No, not $1 million, $500, and the other owed $5. Okay? Anybody in here ever been in debt? Love that. All right. $500 and $50. Let's just say it's that. Okay. When they were unable to repay, he graciously forgave them both. You don't have to pay me $50 back. Like that sting a little bit, but I could probably swing that. Somebody owes me $500. I'm like, listen, man, I'll wait longer, but you got to pay it back. But what if he just graciously forgave both debts? So Jesus asked this question. So which one of them will love him more? So Simon answered and said, I suppose the one that he forgave more. Dude, you talk about a sermon that'll preach right here. Oh, it's so good. Who loved him more? The one that was forgiven more. And Jesus said to him, you've judged correctly. Turning toward the woman, he said to Simon, do you see this woman? I entered your house. You gave me no water for my feet, but she has wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You gave me no kiss, but she, since the time I came in, has not ceased to kiss my feet. You did not anoint my head with oil, but she has anointed my feet with perfume. For this reason, I say to you, her sins, which are many, have been forgiven, for she loved much. But he who is forgiven little loves little. Then he said to her, your sins have been forgiven. Those who were reclining at the table with him began to say to themselves, who is this man who even forgives sins? And he said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. All right. This one's hard. Simon the Pharisee. Why is he there? This one's hard. He invited Jesus into his home, right? And come to find out, there's other people reclining at the table. So then you're kind of wondering, like, I don't know, is he trying to show Jesus off? Is he trying to, I don't know, get into a debate with him in front of everybody else? I don't know. But here's the only thing I for sure know is that when Jesus says, hey, Simon, let me ask you something, he says, go ahead, teacher. Here's my guess. My guess is Simon is there because he wants to learn more stuff. But the truth is, he probably wanted to learn more Bible verses. And Jesus is going to teach him a much harder lesson. And then number 7 is, y'all probably already picked up on, the sinful woman. Now this is crazy, all right? Have y'all ever gone over to somebody's house without being invited? Like just drop in? Do you have good friends like that? Like I remember we thought we had good friends like that when I was growing up, and like we kind of come to find out they're like, hey, you really don't need to just drop in without calling us first because like it's rude. And they're like, oh man, I thought we were close. Like even some of your friends are like, you can't just show up, right? Okay. Have you ever just showed up to a stranger's house and let yourself in? Maybe if you're under the influence of something, but you're not really supposed to just like, let alone go to a friend's house unannounced. Like, you can't just go to a stranger's house unannounced. This woman hears that Jesus is in town, and they're like, he is over at Simon's house, who we can probably calculate does not really like bad people. So you're kind of going into a hostile environment, and this woman's like, I don't care. I'm going anyway. And she goes into the house. And whereas Simon doesn't give him a proper greeting, doesn't wash his feet traditionally, doesn't cover his head in oil traditionally, doesn't do any of the normal traditional stuff, which should be normal for a regular person to do, what does this woman do? She's washing his feet with her tears. And instead of regular oil, what has she got? Perfume? She's doing everything. And when he was supposed to get a traditional, cultural, the little kiss thing, you've seen people do that? She has not stopped kissing his feet. So why was the sinful woman there? Because she wanted to be forgiven. So I promise I'm going to shut up. Why are y'all here today? Like that's like why are not like why is Joe here? Not why is Joe Van here? Why are you here? Like why are you here? Why are you here? Like, are you here because you need a miracle? Option 1. Are you here because you think it's an accident? And God says, part of my plan. You know what? I'll add to that. Are you here because you're having your worst day of your life? Your only son's died. Are you here because you are skeptical of this Jesus guy? I need some more proof. Option 4. Are you here because this world is throwing you a curveball and you keep striking out and you're like, man, I would love to hear some good news for once. Because all I see is poverty and problems and things I can't fix. And the devil has me focused on the world's things. Like the devil has me thinking that money is security. Money is not security, folks. Money, for the vast majority of people, causes more problems, not less. Okay? Maybe you're here today because you're like this generation, which was like that generation, which is what? I kind of want to see something cool, but I don't want to change. Maybe you're like Simon the Pharisee. I don't know how sincere his motives were or not, but I do know he came to learn something and Jesus taught him something else. Or you're here just like the sinful woman. Like, I just want to be forgiven. That's all I want. I will give you the most expensive thing I have, and I will show you all the love and affection I possibly can. But I just want to walk out of here forgiven. Man, of all these, I think she steals the show. And even though she has so much to give Jesus, she is spending more money than the Pharisee. What Jesus really says is, your faith has saved you. Not your perfume, not the kisses, not the tears, not the things that you're doing. But when you could be anywhere, you dropped everything to come be with me. I think that's why it's a pretty popular phrase where people will just say about Jesus, just come and see. Just come check him out. Here today. You got 7 options, maybe more. Why are you here? Why is Jesus something to you? What do you think, Josh? What do you think, Joe Van? Man, I think we all got to look at them. Like, I think this one hurts. Like, this generation, that hurts. I'm a part of this generation, Levi. We're the same generation, right? Yeah. We can't stop saying it enough in Bible class. And I don't want to open up another can of worms. I'm not going to start preaching again, but here's what y'all got to know. Like, Jesus picked all 12, right? He picked all 12, yet Judas was going to do what? Okay. Just because Jesus picked the 12 doesn't mean that the 12 were saved, right? Jesus picked the nation of Israel, but with the vast majority of the Israelites, God was not pleased. So just because God picked them to do great things doesn't mean that they were in a relationship with the Lord. Like, there's a big difference in, like, I'm here. Good job, guys. I'm glad you're here. I could get our dogs to warm the pews if it was just about being here, right? I could start passing out gift cards, maybe get some more people to show up. It was just about being here, right? But it's not just about being here. It's about, why are you here? Are you here for a good show? But you want to be able to walk out of here and like, but I don't have to change. I don't want to change. You know, are you here because you need a miracle? Like, I need you to help someone else in my life. Like, right now, in fact, you don't even have to come to my house. You don't even have to be there. I know you can fix this thing not even being here. And Jesus is going to say, I haven't found anybody that has such great faith in all of the Jews. Like, the people that should be faithing in me, the best one that I found is not a Jew. That's how good this person's faith. You might be like, man, John the Baptist, what a great dude. He is a great dude, isn't he? He's a good dude, better than anybody in this room. But the worst person in God's kingdom is greater than he is. Guys, that's an amen moment, okay? Listen, the best person in this room and the best person that you know, John the Baptist, way better dude. Like, you don't know my meemaws? I'm like, nope, no. John the Baptist, the best. And he's lower than the worst person in God's kingdom. So what do I got to do? I don't know. Jesus just said, woman, your faith has saved you. That's all I know. I hope if you guys are here today, like, I sincerely hope if you're here today, you'll just ask, like, why am I here? Like, am I just here because, like, my parents brought me to church? Am I just here because I guess it's a tradition? Am I just here to get a paycheck? Like, why are you here today? Like, why are you going to be here next Sunday? Why, if this is all fake, like, why keep coming? Like, why waste your time? Did y'all see the gas prices? The gas prices went up. Are you going to spend more money on gas? Why? Like, why are you here? I'm just going to keep saying it. It's just a good question. Why are you here? And I'm not trying to be offensive, but like, why are you here? Guys, why are you here? You need to ask that. Like, why am I showing up? Is it for other people? You know? Like, why am I here? Am I showing up just for me? Why am I here? Because we get to play football? There's donuts? Like, why are you here? All I know is, man, this last woman, I think she steals the show. All she hears is, Jesus is here. Drop what I'm doing. Bring the most expensive stuff that I have. And I'm going to go into a stranger's house if I have to, in front of everybody. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you know. You know what yesterday is? Gone. Man, we sang that last night, and it hit. I don't remember what song it was, but it was something about yesterday's over, yesterday, something. It's like, yesterday is gone. I don't care what yesterday was. To be honest, I don't even care what tomorrow is. I care about today. And today you need to ask yourself, why are you here? Like, are you here? Like, do you want me to like put on a good show? Do you want me to like sing a little something? Do you want me to dance? You want me, like, what do you want, guys? Like, I don't know how to make you happy. Why are you here? I need to be here because I need to be forgiven. And I may not be this woman, but like that's what I want to strive for. I don't want to be John and his disciples. I don't want to be a skeptic. I don't want to doubt. I don't want to like need encouragement all the time. I'd like to grow up and be a big boy, and the only reason that I really want to be here, like I want to be here, only because I need Jesus to forgive me. And like, man, when you walk out of here, it's like, all right, well, guess what? You're forgiven. Yeah, but what about yesterday? Yeah, well, dumb people think about yesterday. So stop thinking about yesterday. Good or bad. Bad or good. Yesterday does not matter anymore. Like, y'all know water under the bridge? Y'all know that, right? Everybody walked on a bridge before? Have y'all ever walked over a bridge over water before? Come on, thank you. We've done that, right? Okay, I know if you've walked over a bridge before, if it's a creek, or if you're a boy, there's one thing that you do. You got to spit into it. Right? You know what happens when you spit in a running river going under a bridge? It's gone, guys. Like, it's gone. And we are still trying to like get off the bridge and go like run down the shoreline and follow this thing. It's gone. Good or bad. Yesterday is over. Why are you here today? You don't know that you have tomorrow. You don't know that there's more water coming under the bridge. You have right now, today. Stop worrying about the past and stop worrying about the future. Today. Why are you here? Man, that's a good question. Maybe you think you're here on accident. Like I just happened to be here. You know, somebody thought they were accidentally breaking chains last night. Right? And they come to find out. What did they end up telling you about, Lisa? That lot? Okay, you think it's an accident? No. God's got a plan. Maybe you think you're here on accident, and it's time for you to wake up and realize accidents don't happen with God. Purpose. I know y'all want me to shut up, and I just don't want to. Gosh, don't tell me to shut up. He's like, yeah, come on, man, wrap it up. Maybe you seriously think that this is like, I just happen to be here. They're just stopping in. It's just another Sunday. I'm just supposed to do this. Please, guys, listen to this. Please. Man, I don't know how long it's been. I don't care how long it is. I don't care if lunch gets cold. I don't care if y'all don't stay for lunch. I don't care, like, I got to go home. I don't care if you never come back, because I'm going to make sure that y'all answer this question today. Why on God's green earth are you here today? Why are you here? For real, why are you here? Maybe it's not an accident. Maybe today is like some special day for you. Maybe like you're like, man, life's going down the drain. Like I am burying my only son. And maybe Jesus is about to walk up and be like, get out of the casket, dude. Go hug your mom. Y'all go back into town. Send the crowds back. Send the music back. Send the mourners back. Get your black clothes off. Because today's a good day. Because yesterday's over. I'm here now, and today's today. And today's a great day. Man, like, just one more time. There's the centurion, miracle. There's the mother, accident. There's John's disciples who are skeptical. There's the poor who are just like looking for anything good. And what does Jesus say? Good news, good news, good news. There's this generation that's like, man, I just love a show, but don't tell me I gotta go home and do anything different. I don't want to do anything different. I just want to be entertained. Like, have y'all seen a phone before? It's like I never forget the first time I saw other kids watching people online play video games. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you could play the video game. It's like, man, but playing video games got kind of hard on my thumbs. I'd rather just watch someone else play the game for me. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It's like, no, I don't want to have to do stuff. I just want to be entertained. Maybe you're like Simon. You're like, yeah, I'm ready. I just need to learn some more stuff. Just keep that knowledge coming. Well, what does knowledge do, Josh? Knowledge puffs up. What was the other one? Dude, that'd been smooth if we'd landed that. Man, knowledge puffs up, but is it love builds up? Knowledge puffs. It's like, I need more knowledge. You know what knowledge does to people? Have you ever seen somebody who gets their PhD? They let you know it, right? They're like, that's doctor got to you, sir, because knowledge puffs up. And like Jesus, like, you don't need more knowledge, dude. You don't need more PhDs. You don't need more Bible verses. You need to look at the woman that's in the floor at my feet. That's what you need to be like. And maybe it's like, why are you here? Maybe we can all be like this woman. Like, I'd give anything to be in the room with Jesus Christ. I can only imagine. You know that song? Like, imagine that. Is it Jason? What did Jason say last night? It's like, imagine you just took your last breath. Like, for real, man, you talk about an invitation. Imagine you just, like, one big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. That's your last one. What happens next? Surrounded by your glory. You know? What are you going to, like, is it going to be like, I'm so glad to see my Savior? I don't want to be meeting a stranger in heaven. I don't want to be meeting Jesus for the first time. I don't want to not recognize my Father's voice. I want to be going to heaven, be going home. All right, I'll shut up. If y'all got a need, God is love. Come together as we stand and sing.
Hey there, this is Josh Johnston. I'm an elder and teach the youth group. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to get notifications when we post videos or when we are live. Even better, join us in person at 1 Scenic Lane, Horse Branch, Kentucky 42349. We meet Sunday at 9:30 for Sunday school, then worship service following at 10:30. Then on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 we have classes for adults, teens, and children. Our mission is to be a family that surrenders to Jesus and glorifies God by loving all people and making disciples as we go, and you are welcome.